So, until Jesus was actually manifested, did people think he would probably be a man? Yes, yes. But Paul calls it the hidden wisdom, right? There's a hidden truth, right? That none of the princes, not princesses, the princes of this world knew, for had they known it, they would not have crucified the Lord of glory, right? Now, if everybody is calling him a blasphemer for saying he's the Son of God, right? Why is that a sin for the Messiah to say that, right? When in Proverbs it talks about who is his son anyway, right? And even David it's believed one of his sons would sit on his throne as well, right? But yet, he asks this question in Matthew, Mark, Luke as well. If I am David's son, how does he call me Lord, right? Yahuwah said unto Adonai, right? Sit thou at my right hand till I make thine enemies thy footstool, right? So again, if David in spirit called him Adonai, or Nai, however you say it, right? Or Ni, right? Adoni, right? My Lord, right? Mm-hmm. Eli, right? Is my God, right? Adoni, right? Will be my Lord, right? whatever. Shane Lee is my name. Hello. Now, Edward's my middle name, so you can call me Willie Mac or Buddy, whatever. Too, but whatever. See, the point is, though, you're lying, right? There's more in the scriptures than I was shown growing up. Over 30% of the scriptures I was even shown, right? Growing up in the church, right? Or the synagogue. And the Muslims don't even go there, right? They more teach from the Quran, so that's your problem, right? You're all teaching a little bit from the old, a little bit from the new, or from the Quran, which is kind of deals with Jesus a little bit, right? How could you not, 700 years after, you're dealing with the Catholics about it, right? Now, the Catholics are the problem, right? Now, what the Gnostics mean is, if Jesus was both, and you say he was a male, right? You're putting someone else on the cross in his place, right? A hermaphroditic savior is different than a male savior, right? Oh, he's dying for the sins of the world, right? The world is male and female, not male or female, right? Where you have to die for one and then become the other, then she died too, right? Though there is one daughter who might have been sacrificed before Jesus. What was her name? Do you know her name? She has a name, I think. She's called Jephthah's daughter in Numbers. But you didn't show me that either. And see, she might have been really sacrificed. Unlike, Abraham's son, right? Her dumb father said, well, I'm going to sacrifice the first thing that meets you at the door. to the Lord. Like it wouldn't necessarily be his daughter, idiot. Right. That's a dumb thing to say, right? What do you think? One of your animals is going to run out and greet you? No, your daughter, idiot. It was the first one to meet you when you come home. And she was his only daughter, right? So, what kind of nonsense does that even make sense to do, right? Now, some say she might have just stayed a perpetual virgin and never married, too, right? That's where the idea of Mary being one is, by the way, right, really comes from, right? It's more of the story of, right. But the problem is, Mary is the mother of James and Josie, right? All three Gospels say that. They talk about that part, right? Now, John does something different, though. He does say that Jesus said to him, "This is thy mother," right? And to her, "This is thy son," right, right. But could that, again, have to do with the androgyny of Jesus, right, right? I don't know, right? Now, if Jesus has female breasts, he's going to see them on the cross, right, right. So you see what I mean, right? He changes Stethos at the Last Supper to Mastois in Revelations, right? Where you can see them on the cross, but only feel the girdle at the Last Supper. If a thing goes well, a thing goes well, right? Do you understand? Right. From the Last Supper to the cross to Revelation, he's got to change the story, right? Because Peter is having a problem with agapeos. He's wanting to philo everybody, which is brotherly love. Brotherly love ain't enough, Peter. You got to agapeos, which includes the female. That's right. Thea, Peter, is your goddess, right? Side, right? Even you have your daughter, right? Though you treated her badly in regards to the Roman soldier who they fell in love with, right? What's going on there, right? Prejudice, right? Well, if you know God's no respecter of persons, you're respecting the person your daughter fell in love with, right? That's crazy too, I know. And you're choosing to make her a paralytic, instead of letting her marry him, right? Because you know he's only after her for her beauty, If she was deformed, he wouldn't be with her. Well, no man wants to be with a deformed woman, idiot, right? What's wrong with you? Even you're deforming her so nobody will be with her, right? You're making her a perpetual virgin or something. I know that. I know that, right? But if she fell in love with the soldier and didn't want to marry another man, then she loved the soldier. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Prejudice against Rome. And that's wrong too. The father cannot control who the daughter falls in love with, right? If that happens during her lifetime as well, right? And she wants to marry a certain man, right? Sounded like that's what was going on too. They fell in love, wanted to get married, and Peter said no and paralyzed the girl or something. Instead, I know. Wow, what a nice dad there. That's in your Gnostic Gospels, but you gotta read it. They don't want you to read it because it's controversial. That's why. I can tell you stories in there too that will blow your mind, right? They talk about Adam lying to Eve in the first place because who told her not to eat the tree in the garden, right? Well, God, that's him. That's the tree of life, right? Right. There's one tree in the middle of the garden, tree of life, right? He didn't say you couldn't eat the tree of life, just not the tree of knowledge of good and evil, right? So again, there's one tree you can't eat of, the rest of them you could, idiot. So you're not listening. You're not even realizing the tree wasn't the fruit of the fruit tree, but the fruit of Satan's body, idiot. I mean, right? If you have sex with the devil, you are one with his body. Say he was a prostitute, like Paul was talking about, right? Except you're having sex with the devil himself and eating him before the fall. As you are falling, you're having sex with the devil. He's tricking you, right? And then you fail when it was his turn. And he put his fruit in your butt. The fruit of the male gets the female pregnant. The male part, the member. Now, he's putting it in Adam's butt, though. He never did it in the butt. He did it in the butt. Ow, Satan, Satan. Where do you think the idea of homosexuality comes from? Your parents have to make a son and a daughter, right? To have an offspring, right? And then that's brother and sister, by the way, marrying, right? And then, right. You gotta do that for a while, right? Till you make cousins or something. And then you can marry cousins, and then you can, right, first, second, third cousins, and then you're right. That's not a choice in the beginning. Right. Of course, brother and sister, Abraham and Sarah were half brother and sister. They had the same dad, but two different moms, right? Read the Bible. Why was that going on? Because that was kind of what was happening. You were marrying your sister back then, right? That's why by Moses' time it was outlawed. You understand, right? And you're not to sleep with your kinsman unless it's under certain circumstances. Anyway. Not even your cousin necessarily, unless it's a matter of inheritance for that cousin. And it's a female cousin, usually, whose dad didn't have a son. Right. Like my Uncle Ronnie now. This is just hypothetical, but if my cousin Jennifer, even Dana, wanted to raise up seed, which means have a son with me, that would kind of be legal, right? But that's up to them, I'm not talking about I would force them or know it happened. I don't know it happened, actually, right? But that's what I mean. Legally, to raise up seed to Uncle Ronnie, which means have a male inheritor, right, for his line, right. I could get Jennifer or Dana pregnant with the son, right. Just not saying we did it, though. No. But legally, we might could, right. According to the law of Moses now, right. Has to do with Noah and her sisters, right. And their father who only had a daughter, which is also in Numbers, right. 23, I think, or 24, somewhere around there. 27, somewhere. Anyway, thoughts about that too. Which they don't show you that one having to do with cousins, right? Well, that means is if a man only has daughters, right, and they're the only ones who can inherit, they can inherit, right? Over if the man didn't have no sons, right. But then, so that tribe don't lose the inheritance, they got to marry one of the father's brothers, right. If they have a son, right, and they got to marry usually the oldest son there, right. Or whatever, right. And then they can raise up seed, like Lee, Jennifer or Dana Lee, right, could marry me to raise up seed to Uncle Ronnie, right. If we had an inheritance thing going on too, right. You don't just do that. I told you that too, right. You don't do that anymore, right. Right. Well, like I said, she would have to sneak into the couch. Someone blacked me out after the set. Right. And all I know is we all stayed in our appointed place, right. In other words, I was on the couch, Jennifer was in her bedroom, Uncle Ronnie and Aunt Mary, whatever. Aunt Mary, right, was in the back room, and Dana was in her room near them, right. And I just went to the bathroom, right. And now Jennifer's door was locked, so I didn't even worry about that, right. I was just kind of seeing how you turned the door to see if it was locked or not. It was locked, right. So like I said, nothing happened there. Nothing happened there. But projection, right, fear, right, is that she stuck in there later on. I know, right? That's a paranoia. Like, I know she did that, but if she did do that, I don't know what happened about it. But she can be on top. See, I'm not sure if he should do it or not. By the right? That's all I would tell her, right? If she wanted to talk about it, right? Why I touched her earlier, but right? hmm And of course, I just stay on the couch in the living room, right? And never left the couch all night, right? So the pillows, right? Told you that before too, but then you're inferring it, right? Same with Shonda. I'm not gonna do nothing with Shonda because Myra could come back at any time, idiot. Right. I done told you that, right? It's not about was Shonda a pretty girl. Yeah, she was a pretty girl, but she's my sister. And her mom was wanting us to just kind of talk to each other for a little bit and catch up with each other, not have sex. In the living room or in her bedroom, which was the only place we could really do it, I guess. Right, right. And then, again, right. All I can tell her is if I talked to Bobby before after you were born and asked you if we could marry you or something, but then I found out that the Bible says we can't marry, so I ain't worried about that. Right, right. That's what you actually tell her, right, right. That's before I read the Bible real good, right, right. I was like a little kid, right, when I asked that, right, right. But then I read the Bible where I know you're not supposed to marry your sister, not even your half sister, according to the law of Moses. So I don't go there, right, right, right. I know. But the same with even the two sisters I got, they're half sisters, right, right. Well, Moses even covers that in the law, right, right. If it's a half sister by your father or by your mother, right? You don't think with her, you don't think with her. Right, right. You're not even supposed to be with your stepdaughter, though that's different if you divorce her mom, but then she would have to come to Georgia after she did that, right? Right. So, again, that's supposed to be hypothetical, right? Though I do things like this before sex, but there again, what happens if Myra shoot me? I mean, come on, right? Or Joe shoot me? So come on, right, right. So someone would have to interfere with my memory there, right? If something happened more with Shonda too, right? Or again, Aunt Mary would have to, right? Back me out, or that's what I need, right? If Jennifer went in there to talk to me about it, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't remember if she did or not, but there are, again, right? We usually go to bed around what, 11, 12, right? When I stopped by, wasn't really planning on spending the night. It just kind of happened, and again, right, right. I'm in the living room on the couch. We keep bringing up the living room and the couch, right? usually what happens. Now, right, right. If you're a cousin, you can sleep on the couch, right? Because the people in the house already got their bedrooms, right, right. Usually, too, right. Or if someone ain't there, Shay, right, and 2D, right. Now, unless Shay got in and was supposed to be there, right, I was already asleep, and I started having a wet dream with him, right. But something weird had happened, right, right. And I don't remember that part, right. Right, right. But again, I can't be with 2D even then. I probably would know that, right? Not think my cousin I did, but again, right. The girl next door could have been with me, whatever her name was, but right. She wasn't had a boyfriend, but like I said, are you married or engaged? Right, right. Though it's up to you, I don't force you, All I can do is ask you if you want to kiss me, and if you like to kiss, we can go further. If you don't, we don't have to. You know what I mean? Right? I don't know. I don't know. But again, when I'm waking up later on and decided to sneak in and play Ninja because of the Master Series, right? We'll leave Van Cleef, right? Right. I'm just being a little 14, 15-year-old child still, right? Right. I'm not thinking, anything harmful. And kind of got stuck under the bed and was trying to get out and grab Tootie's leg by mistake, right? Trying to pull myself out, right? Does that make some sense? So you're reaching from under the bed like this, and you grab something, and it's Tootie's leg. Whoops! Oh no, I didn't do that, did I, Marla? I don't know. Sorry. Whoops. That was an embarrassing? Yes, embarrassing. But did we actually do that? No, nothing. If we did, it would be earlier if Shay came in and then something else happened, right? And I wasn't still be with Tootie with the other girl, but then, right. It's obviously I was talking about me with somebody, right. But I don't remember the conversation fully, right. Right. But I'm still just a 14, 15-year-old child, so I can still kind of get away with that, right? Even though it's something dumb. But as you get older, yeah, you're supposed to know better, right? But 15 ain't the same as 14, right? See, 15 is still a year older than 14, and the age of consent is 16, and that's when you can do the job legally. Unless you're doing it as a program, right? See, the program is so that when you get 16, you can emancipate yourself from your parents, right? Is that what you were trying to do? Were you trying to emancipate yourself from dear old dad, right? If you were, okay, fine, right? If you weren't, you couldn't do the job till you're 16, right? There's reasons for that, right? I don't. Idiot. No. You're not supposed to do that either, right? Right. Now, this is the real hair. After laying down for a little bit. No balding spots either, right? You would see it, right? Any of the tarts here? You know what I mean? I don't know what I mean. Or here, right? You're right about where it starts, but they ain't even thinking about it. They're even thinking about it. I'm trying to talk to you about it and make it a joke, right? Because you won't let it go. Because you won't let it go, right? 3 years you've been on about my hair. Is it longer? Or shorter? Longer. Okay. I know. I know. Now the beard looks a little scraggly. Might shave it by May or something. I don't know. Might shave it all off and show you what if I can look like a woman or not. Shit. But the beard will come back still, right? Alright. Well, I'm getting eye slab, I think, for the right eye, whatever that means, right? See, if your eye's getting, you can see, right? It's being protected by something. See, that's probably a good thing, whatever it's doing. I don't know. I don't know why, but the left eye's perfect, right? Mm-hmm. The right eye, you can tell it's a little messed up, but it's still within normal ranges too, right? Mm-hmm. It's a little bloodshot sometimes, right? But then it also clears up, right? See if it's doing all that. Something's going on right here. And it's healing something or fixing something in the eye, right? When it gets mucusy or watery or red, right, it's healing from something, right? What would that be? A gunshot to the eye? I don't know. I don't shoot myself, though. I don't even own a gun. He that dies by the gun and shoots with the gun. And believes in the gun over the power of Jesus to heal, right? Now, you don't go to a Christian, though, or a non-Christian and shoot them and see if they can raise like me if I believe in Jesus differently than them, by the way, right? It's not the same, right? If one person can heal of it and the other people can't, they still can't, right? By the way, you don't not supposed to shoot him either, but right, he don't have a weapon on him either, so you're not justified, right, to shoot him. He's unarmed, right? Hypothetically speaking, as to why the eye could be given a little bit of a problem, still. But I can still see out of it, it's just blurry. I mean, I can see the cut right in front of me and the fan and the bow staff. And see, I got that with the right eye. But see, I picked it up. The left eye's closed, right? And I can set it back down and grab something else with it. So I can obviously see you, right? And put it back down where I got it from, right? I can see this, right? This little green thing, right? You can see the color, right? I'm not colorblind in it. That's orange, that's black, that's tan, right? It's called testing yourself. This is a red bottle, right? With fruit on it. Peaches and a strawberry. Yep. Do you see that? And the letter writing is black and white and orange, right? Right? Let's test your color blindness. Does this look black? White, hydroxy cut. Hydroxy is black. Cut is white. Gummies is orange. Do you see that? And that's the peach, and that's the strawberry. Yes? Yes. Okay. See what I mean? You can test it. If it's real. If it's real. Is it real? It's real.